That's right. Uh, First of all, I just wanted to start the video off with thank you for all the support. If anybody who is subscribed is watching this, no, we don't want to. We don't want to play a game. We don't focus. Come on, focus. You can do it. Anyway, yeah, I just want to say thank you for all the support. That's a crazy amount. I checked it one day and we're at 919 subscribers within a couple of months. That's crazy to think. I uploaded something as a joke, which I'm going to keep uploading that till they either delete it or until they either ban it or delete it or whatever, or it hits a million views. But that's not what this video about. This is about the PSP. If you didn't know, you're gonna hear the air conditioner in the background because I'm not getting up. I have, if you didn't know, the, PSP released March 24th, 2004. I was getting it mixed up with the launch date of the, before I started this video, of the PS3. PS3 launched 2006. For some odd reason, I thought this released. Obviously, I have here 3 different models. This is the only one with a battery that's charged in it, my main one, my silver one. Unfortunately, they're all the same, but there were a couple of different models of the PSP. First of all, you had the original, the Fat, as they call it, which is a beefier. I have one somewhere that I tore down to see if I could put it back together. Long story short, I was unsuccessful. Where'd all these... Oh, that's like... Long story short, I was unsuccessful in that. You have the 2000, which I don't think any of these are. This is a 3. This is a 3000. This might be a 2. What are you? What are you? What are you? Come on, focus. 3000. Yeah, they're all 3000s. Basically the only difference of a 2000 and a 3000 is, I believe the 2000 has a bit, the 3000 is more common than the 2. The 2 is the first slim, the 3 fixes a couple features. I can't remember what the 3 fixes. Then you've got the PSP Go, which the PSP Go is a all digital, way ahead of its time, actually. All digital console. Even though I don't like all digital stuff. That's the way things look like they're going. So it was way ahead of its time. And then over in Europe, you had, which I really want one, a PSP Street. The PSP Street's interesting as it's kind of the worst model, but it's also kind of the best looking model. It released right around the end of the lifespan of this, I think like 2008, something like that, around the end of the lifespan of the PSP. But with that being a little bit of a... I don't have any of those to show, so... I was just showing this as a little difference. You have the 2 most common here, the black and the silver. Then, of course, my Metal Gear Special Edition, which is green. And I have some games to show what the games look like. I just picked up some off my shelf. Frankly, I don't know why I picked them up. I could just easily talk about them. Anyway, I guess I'm going to talk about why the PSP, if you should get one 17 years later, I bet that makes you feel old. I was like, golly, I was like 3 when this thing came out. Anyway, believe it or not, this was my first handheld. Well, second handheld. This was my first Sony handheld. I got it for Christmas one year. I used to have the box. It was a Ratchet and Clank edition, or bundle, because the silver is a special edition. It's almost more common than the black. And I guess I'm going to start off this glowing review of a PSP with really, there isn't any reason to own one anymore unless you just want to play your physical PSP games. Because some of them, like Prinny here, I don't think was ever ported to anything. I know this wasn't. These two obscure titles you've probably never heard of. But most of them are possible with emulation now because the PSP is not that much more powerful than a. The PSP is like in between a PS1 and PS2, whereas the Vita is in between a PS2 and PS3. It's powerful enough. It's way more leagues ahead of a DS in power, but still not quite as powerful as a PS2. But the graphics are pretty close. So really, if you want a PSP, the physical games, which came on cartridges, came on cartridges like that, right there, little discs and actual little cartridges. UMDs, as they call it. I'm so glad they got rid of those with the Vita. It's a shame the Vita is the second and last Sony handheld console because I love this thing. I absolutely adore it. Of course, I don't take it anywhere because these games have a tendency to get crushed in cases, so it's not very portable. I would recommend just emulating it, but these are great as little emulation machines, although they're starting to get obsolete on that because, oh, I'm sorry, my hand got stuck. It got cramped, and that's why the camera jarred. Even then, though, the little emulation machines, Vita would just be better because these aren't that much cheaper than a Vita, believe it or not. You would think that, oh, it's older, less powerful. No, this thing's still got a pretty active market to it. Active collecting scene. As you can see here, I own 3 of them. Now, each one, I need to repair these 2. This one works just fine, but the screen has got a scratch in it, so I need to fix it. This one, is real bad faded and the buttons don't work, so I need to fix that. I just hadn't got around to it yet. This one works okay, but it doesn't it likes to say, are you sure you want to quit game? All the time. And they're pretty decent little handhelds. They're pretty reliable. Again, lugging around a bunch of these is not very portable, so emulation is your best bet for one of these. I like it, but again, I don't think you could justify if you're just buying one. You're just buying one, okay? You don't care about collecting them. You're not like me. You don't like having a bunch of different variants. You're just buying it with the intention of emulating. The Vita is more powerful, and it's about the same price. The Vita is about $15, $20 more than one of these. Because most of these, from what I find them as, they're like $80, $70. A Vita is about $100. And it's going to have a nicer screen. It's going to be more powerful. Just get a Vita. Now, I think these are easier to mod. I don't know. If you're getting into the modding stuff, it starts to lose me. I don't know. I'm going to be 100% honest with you with that. No. I think you'd buy this one now. I think what's starting to get to the point here with these is you buy them as nostalgia. Because for some people, not as many as like the DS. Because this system sold, I think, 80 million units. It sold really, really well, but nowhere near as many as the DS Lite or the Nintendo DS. It didn't sell nowhere near as many as those. And it's got a pretty decent library of games. As you can see here, I got some of the more obscure ones, but it's got Kingdom Hearts, one of them right here, Little Big Planet, Ratchet and Clank. People rag on it, but Secret Agent Clank's a pretty decent one, and the games are pretty cheap if you want to pick them up. If you're a sucker like me, who, if you're a stickler for the physical, real stuff, then yeah, it's great. and this is the only way you can play them like this. Some of the games is the only way you can play it, because as far as I know, these two right here, these two I have, were never ported to anything. They're very, I doubt you know what these are. They're very obscure. Well, that one apparently is not as that obscure, but this one, I doubt you know what it is. It's a pretty fun little puzzle game, but it's whatever. So, I guess 17 years later, it still holds up. It's, honestly, there's better systems. There's way better systems. But with gaming, it's always been like, it's not like spec-wise, tech-wise. It doesn't really matter. It's, you play it as a preference thing. Do you want to play it for the nostalgia, whatever? Eventually, though, and do you want to play it for the nostalgia? If you're buying it for that, I'd recommend it. If you're buying it for emulation, I'd recommend spending about $20 extra on a Vita. You're going to get a nice screen, a more powerful system to emulate better stuff. If you're buying it for nostalgia, obviously, yeah, go ahead. But if you're buying it just as like a normal system, portability is not that great, because again, at least I never had a good experience with the portability. Eventually I just said forget it, I ain't taking this system anywhere. I used to have a Tupperware box. I kept a bunch of games and stuff in their cases because I was scared to death it would crush the games. I was right. I ruined like 6 games in one of my cases. It just crushed them. So portability isn't all that great. But it is a pretty fun console. Obviously, you can't go online anymore with it, and all that's shut down. But yeah, just a little overview of the PSP. I guess I'd say, yeah, buy it. Really, it depends on your preference. Buy it, don't buy it, who cares? Anyway, thank you for watching, and thank you for all the support. You have a good one.